Alright. Go check out Kimmy's Bandcamp. Link's right there in the chat. Always there. Whichever side it shows up for you. Trying to figure it out when I'm on my screen. It's like different. But anyways. Alright. Today, more Great Ace Attorney. And then tomorrow we're doing Overcooked 2 with Overland Scrimmage. Although I don't have a set time for that tomorrow because I do have some on-sites to do tomorrow. I'm not sure when I'll be back from work. Anyways. Let's go be an ace. Because clearly that's what we do, right? So fun fact. I went back and redid like just let autoplay run until I got to a certain point. And did any, obviously did any answers I needed to pick in between to get the bed examination accolade on case 2. But anyways, let's go back to case 4. That's the only reason why I couldn't click load right away. Briar Road in prison. Alright, let's go to Briar Road. This is like our first actual like detective examination shit. Where we're not stuck in one place, where we're actually going out into the city now, I think. This is case 4 though. That is kind of late. Oh, I guess we did it with case 2. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo. What are these suckers doing? Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. You act like you weren't gonna see one. Come on! They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but I've never dreamt I'd come this close. You are crazy, definitely. It's a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? That's all she worried about? I thought she would have been worried about the people. Hehe, of course. I'd have to try one on one day. No you don't. You don't want to. Well, I hope your hattie dream comes true. My lord. Those helmets are not gonna feel good on her head. Especially when you have to wear it for a long time. I don't see Inspector Gregson here. Oh, it's Lizzie Watson, right. Inspector Watson anywhere. Shall we see if we can sneak past and investigate the scene of the stabbing? Why should we sneak? I don't want to upset one of those bobbies and be butted on the head by one of those metal helmets. My skull would crack in two, I'm sure. Oh no, an English bobby would never do such a thing. This is a land of gentlemen, you know. Ha. Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's been a long dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. I'll just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. That's the only way you would ride it. Wouldn't it? Yeah. Still, it's the only way. Help me find a good stone. No. I wasn't serious. This chick is crazy. I swear. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Yes, it's very wide open space, isn't it? That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? Ark. Oh, just investigating the scene, officer. Conspiring with that mustached fella from Japan, are ya? Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you an island. Go on. Listen here, you motherfucker. I am investigator. I'm an ace attorney. He shooed us away like rats. Yes, we should give him a wide berth, though, I think. What a disappointing experience. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it's been a long and interesting history. I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Okay. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks like it's decidedly worse shaped than the other houses around here. It really is. We must find some cheap lodging for ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right, cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, they're all filled with bricks. Oh, you're right, I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. Ah, indeed. What a delightful snowman. I didn't realize English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though. Oh, it has a scarf. Look! You'd need one if you were out in this freezing cold after all. This freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. Snowman doesn't need one. Why the hell does a snowman have one? I'm afraid our budget's somewhat frozen at the moment too. We can't afford a scarf. Sure, the snowman here wouldn't miss his, but the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know, you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Alright, asshole. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we've no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. Does you no favors at all. Ugh. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over there when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Notterholdo, and dressed in all black. I worry coachman might not see you and you could be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Oh, a British bicycle, look. Except it's been indented. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Yo, what up, Tommy? Lurking while at work? Damn, you're still at work? Or did you start late shift today? Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not like I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. Yo, what up, Exia? I'm doing a swing today. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have fun with that. 5 more hours. So you started at 4? Jesus. Alright, have fun getting out at midnight. Or 1 o'clock. Actually, you might have started at 3 because you get a lunch break, an hour lunch break somewhere. 3:30, but basically the same thing. Yeah. Oh, you get only a 30? I thought you get an hour. Have you ever tried walking on stilts and fall into a river? I know you'd agree with me. Never walked on stilts. I wouldn't know how that feels. 30-minute lunch? Okay. I get an hour lunch tomorrow because, I'm on site tomorrow. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Nah, I just fuck around for another half hour if I'm on patrol. Oh, that's fair. Something else to fucking... Can't examine this. I guess we fucking go to... prison. Christ, this looks all fucking raggedy. So these are British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. I mean, I guess this is back in the day, so can't expect it to be slightly better. Looks like a straight up dungeon indeed, yeah. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo, you're making it seem worse. Apparently our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark back at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop idling at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I? Am I a cat? As yet with no name, calling me by a number. It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruhodo, what? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? The tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Excuse me, but who... Shh, quiet. Dude looks kinda crazy. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it. What the fuck is with this guy? I mean, is that a... What is with his eyes? Why does it look like he's got numbers in his eyes? It almost looks like a number 4 in there. What the fuck? This dude's eyes are all kinds of whack. This dude definitely looks all kind of crazy in his... Yo, what the hell happened to his eyebrows? It looks like he's perpetually raising one of them because of the way it's cut. And then one of them's just... I don't know. Way close to the other. Right. So... Could I ask you who exactly... There you are. You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? What the... We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you... Japanese by any chance? This is... beyond my wildest dreams! This man's crying now. Woo! Jesus. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Like hell you are. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it. It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land. Hey, his eyes return to normal when he starts the freaking crying eyes. Almost looks anime. So, hearing the sweet sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment. This man got a little too excited, just a little. Who could have guessed that this new client, Lord Strongheart, assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? Ah, What compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon! A first-class lawyer? More like a first-class dunce! Jesus. Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder what... Would you be so kind as to tell us what happened? Why, you've been detained as a suspect, for example. Yes, I can, I will. Shan't stay sullen silent. Sullen and silent, sorry. I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer. As you said, my name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Soseki Natsume-san. What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. Something of a nom de plume. Yeah. You mean an alias? Nom de plume alias? Yeah, indeed. That's right, Naruhodo-san. No! Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. And haiku? That really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government? Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go and study English. First I had to suffer that misery, and now this. It's beyond the pale. Oh. Did you not want to suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No. I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh, but just because the government tells you to do something, doesn't mean you can do it? No. Don't you mean doesn't mean you do it? What do you mean? If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. No, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. It's the same shit at that point. In fact, I think English literature is actually harder to study. Although I guess you're studying every aspect of the English language. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on whitewashing. Must be a man of great standing. Oh yes, so I'm told, often told. Often like to be told, it seems. Can you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san? I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder! Murder? Oh, no, it's alright. That woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife, right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? No. I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen the person who did it, you'd think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's a curse, the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. God, this man is already bugging the fuck out of me. So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. Clearly not. It's vital that we find out more about the case. About the case. It was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Sure, the bookshop wasn't accursed too. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out a sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat. She was. And just as I went to overtake her, RIP! She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed into the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Dude's freaking the fuck out. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. You shouldn't have ran, you should have stayed with her and be like, report it. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous! Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English? And a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. You're talking to us just fine. I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? What conundrum? Yes, it does. What do you mean, Sasato-san? What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you not understand what's going on here now, freaking Ryunosuke? Jesus. What's the conundrum? Well, if Soseki-san what Soseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He said that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. And then he apparently fled without having been seen. I did. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Are you? What did you just say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oops. Perhaps I thought a little loudly. Actually, that's not what's troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry? He didn't touch the victim and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yes, she's right. It was him. The accursed great detective, he led the police to me. Oh no. Just when I thought I was rid of Sherlock Holmes. Of all the bad luck, accursed great detective, could it be? I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed busybody, be gone! May you be cursed until the end of your days, Sherlock Holmes! I knew it. Mr. Holmes? Yes. Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after a nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police, put the weapon down." Yes, it was a thin sliver and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Sherlock Holmes. It's actually just Sherlock Holmes. He's English. Sherlock Holmes. I guess we'd have to read it out individually for that. I found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts apparently. Pretty sure you just followed your ass. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. Me? This weak, stooped kitten of a man? I wonder what great deduction process led him to this conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Holmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. So this man ran. I was terrified and trembling. They kept throwing question after question at me. It's impossible English. Well, and in impossible English. Fiendish foreign flammery. Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point, but my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes I do, and I'm fine. Next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here. You fucking admitted to it, that's basically what happened. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine, he's not fine now. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Hold up, I'm gonna get a snack real quick. Alright, I'm back. Man, I just got shown a pretty silly but had a funny video at the same time. So it was like a dude's writing on a piece of paper in Chinese, dog meat soup, and before he finished writing dog, I hear he wrote the rest of it. He wrote soup and all that stuff. He didn't write. He was in the middle of writing dog in Chinese, and his dog puts his left paw on his right hand that he's writing with to stop him, and then points at the pig and says, pork soup, like pork meat soup or something, and like the dog points at the pig, and I'm just like, damn, this dog is something else. Smart dog. Probably, obviously stage bit, but you know, pretty cool. Thanks for the contribution. Thomas, what are you doing? Playing Unite again? Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, a simple mister is more than enough. Oh yes, alright. Yes, they've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, why? Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself on a study tour. A student? I've defended a case in Old Bailey. Only the one, though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm sort of a lawcom lawyer, I suppose. But that armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire. It's a keepsake from a man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, who do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. Goodness, why? Why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before, when it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. This man is, doomed himself by running away. Anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before in my earshot without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course the foreigner did it. I even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. That's awful. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. And this was before plane, so he went by boat. So 50 some odd days. So at the very least, I'd like to entrust my feet to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Soseki-san, it's just that. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. Uh-oh. We can find some clues. It will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. This poor bastard. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Watson. This isn't on the tourist trail. I'm pretty sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been hold ourselves then. What'd you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. Yep. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The book's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. The verdict's a foregone conclusion. Ugh, a stone cold air of rejection. Take heart, London. At this time of the year, it's full of stone cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated police and organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Currently, anyway. Oh, and no, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this man is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty protecting the city. But yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Oh really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around, rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yep. Raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit. I had no idea. Oh, that sucks. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. The people need to be responsible for waking their own asses up. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. Man, just like a security guard, tirelessly patrolling. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, that's a little much. Can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. That's it? Tokyo to Yokohama is only 20 miles? On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Oh, Jesus fuck. Oh my. I suppose in between all of those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well, and chase after criminals trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you'd call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Hell no! Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. Victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned she's being treated in the hospital. I never said she was a lady. Truth is, she comes around pretty smartish. You won't be able to find out much about her at all. Unless she comes around smartish, okay. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her. Of course not. She's fucking unconscious. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's your policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. What? We have two very reliable witnesses, no less. Ah. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. There were witnesses now? Witnesses. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife. And the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Ah! A policeman? That might change things. This policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked. Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a Bobby, catching them banging in the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like in court tomorrow. Oh, I have no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. Police witness the incident. Policeman witness the incident. As a judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes. As a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. Well, the person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Sherlock Holmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color from has drained from his cheeks. Uh-oh. What happened with Holmes? Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Holmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was a result of one of Mr. Holmes' great deductions. Fiddle faddle! Ah! That man's an amateur. I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble gabble. Ah. Ever seen this before? Oh yes, that's Rant's magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there's an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public next to that obnoxious detective. What are you nomming on, Thomas? Are you nomming because I'm nomming? be like that. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Well, that twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, twitchy? That's rude. Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey. I mean, there's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange though. Sorry? The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. And all of a sudden he's appearing. If we did hear something to that effect. The only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals? The violent ones? That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting a Reaper just wants to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. For some reason he's taking an interest. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? You think I can tell what's going on inside that head of the Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to face a Reaper again, the Lord of Darkness, as he puts it? God. 3 for 3, I guess. Oh wait, sorry, 2 for 2. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Oh yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean Mr. Holmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Holmes for all this. Yes, he did. He really did. What makes him an involved party in the case? Are we just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Holmes. It totally fucking is. Trouble is, we have no idea where the man's address is. It's Baker Street. How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. I'm pretty sure that's fake. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose, unless that's actually real. Jesus Christ! Imagine this man just fucking docks himself. We better try to find our way there before Stella-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage. So we're having a reunion. So we're to have a reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Sweet! Jesus.
ありがとうございました。そこの2階でございます。それでは。どうも。ここがホームズさんの事務所なのですね。
He's got everything all over the place. You know, I was not expecting to see him this soon. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. It's a goddamn mess. Is it as described in the stories, Mrs. Sato? Mrs. Sato-san? Yep. Many, many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into a fogged down and unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you miss another hold on? No. Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me. Ha, she's obsessed. Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at the present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh! Hello. Is it a big new case for Mr. Holmes? It's you. Hello. Wait. Aren't you... Oh! How rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mrs. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? I think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Holmes to take on his case. The King of Bohemia? King Wilhelm Gottsrich Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed and have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you! I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. Now give us a name. That means, she's here, or Jesus. It's the girl who turned about the end of Mr. McGilda's trial in the defendant's shanty chamber. I've been met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea, it's my special blend, you know. Oh, thank you. Does Seasons look that color? Oh my, what a fragrant, yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's winter. I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here. And you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man? I do wish you lots and lots of luck. How does she... Did Mr. Holmes tell you about us by chance? Oh, you know Shirley, do you? Shirley? Mr. Holmes to you? Shirley? Mr. Holmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well then, I had no idea. I'm afraid Shirley's out on Aaron again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute, we met this girl for the first time yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things? I don't know. You think? And perhaps more to the point, we're actually here in Mr. Holmes' suite. Oh, silly me. Oh wait, so the inspector is Gregson, and this is supposed to be the Watson. Okay, Irish Wilson. I live here together with Shirley. Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait. This can't be. Did you say that your name is Watson? What's the matter with Sasato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And here all this time I've been calling Gregson Watson, thinking that was the one, but I guess this is... Oh, I've been getting it all wrong. Jesus. I need some water, that's what. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Yunosuke Naruhodo. Lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Naruhodo's, Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely, Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie? Bruno? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. Alright, Iris. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey? Yes. You were ever so helpful, thank you. That's right, you were ever so helpful. Thank you very much. Oh no, not at all. Sorry, I was also responding to someone because I'm ordering something. Something cheap. Doing a deal, a little bit of deal. Oh. Oh, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Although at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Oh, I'll be right back again. Again? Like this? Gulp. Ah. Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Ginny? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that trial and disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting my self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Surely, of course. Silly. Oh boy. Shirley. Yes, Sherlock Holmes. We live here together. I had no idea the great detective has such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Shirley if he was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Holmes? Well, I expect you found that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. The solution is to share costs with a partner. Yeah? Give me a second. Your roommates? Yes. I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. Alright, see, I wonder what the story is there. Alright, Watson. Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Oh, of course. Go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rance magazine? Yes, I read every issue. I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? That's right. Shirley's always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness! So, over-exaggerated bullshit. Oh, with a little bit of correction, he'd be pretty good. That's why he's great with, Naruhodo. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. He didn't solve it! We did! So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author. Yes, I'll tell you a little secret. If you like, I'm going to call the latest adventure the Speckled Band. That's certainly very familiar. Yeah. Of course, always change one or two details in the stories here and there. This time I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh. That was Mr. Holmes' first thought as well, actually. Good. And of course I know the snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? No. So, do you mean to say, are the stories of Mr. Holmes that are published in Rance magazine are written by me? Yes. I'm a wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Watson. Susano's getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Watson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old? Well, that's quite incredible. But Dr. Watson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the settings slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. Hey, yeah. I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susan, she looks like her whole world's just falling apart. Your deductions just now. About before. Yes, what's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? He told them. Duh! They told her. Oh, and yes, we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us, how you did. Explain every detail. No. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although there's really no mystery. Now let's begin. Iris Watson is proud to present her logic reasoning spectacular. First of all, I already knew you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you also said we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that? I observed the passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh, so I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of Bailey, the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hat. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Ah. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. Ah, I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. What the fuck? So that told me, even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe you must have accepted a new case. I see. But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home for a few hours, surely solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume. Now, Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Anyway, it was clear to me that both of you came from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man, Shirley Hut. There was only one conclusion that those facts could lead me to. We both came here to ask Shirley about the case. Yep. At least she's actually right. Unlike Sherlock Holmes. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Shirley's always stabbing his notes with a knife. You know, he's silly. That's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Watson, and that was one of my great deductions. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You managed to certain something of Mr. Holmes's delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Shirley's style for that. This is really very good news. You can tell us about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please. Yesterday, Mr. Holmes apprehended a Japanese man, and you were saying, yes. Shirley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. The great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking man running away from the scene. Yo, what up, Jade? Lurking, don't want to think work was shit. Oh, work was great for me today, for once. No, actually, work is always great, except for when I have to, like, be exhausted, deal with, clients being really, what's the term? Arrogant and ignorant at the same time. A short, shifty-looking, stupid man. Mr. Natsume is beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. Get wrecked. Tired of kids' parents don't read stuff. Understaffed. Parents never read stuff. Because they're rushing. They're busy and rushing. You gotta understand. You gotta, like, tell them shit. Welcome to the life of a teacher. Shit ain't easy.
Captain, we are being hosted.
What the hell? Scrimmage hosted me? I thought that man was playing Pokemon Unite right now. I saw you pop up on the corner. And they still come in here. Why isn't my kid here? Because your kid's off running amok, causing problems, or having an adventure. Surely use his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. Bro, we call, sent emails, Knox no. What? Your Knox no emote doesn't work here, yo. It was a lodging very nearby. I went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear. Ugh, Mr. Holmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective. So that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Shirley always says that London is rife for crime. I feel like the Reaper of Bailey's up to something. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. By the way, since Scrimmage is here, tomorrow we're playing Overcooked 2. Hopefully I don't have to work overtime tomorrow. Oh dear, I hadn't realized that the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. What the fuck? That's terrible. If you ain't gonna read, you gonna miss shit. What time? Around this time? No. Well, maybe around this time? I don't know. It depends on when I get off work. When I get back from on-sites, because I have like 2 on-sites tomorrow. Maybe more. We'll see. If you ain't gonna read, you're gonna miss shit. You talking to me, or you talking about those people not reading the goddamn emails? We're not doing the one chip challenge just yet. Probably doing that next Friday. It's gonna be like Halo for us, but with food. Oh god. And I'm gonna be the one messing up more because I haven't played this game ever. I've never played Overcooked. Parents, oh, okay. Scrimmage. Either next Friday or next Saturday. Probably Friday because like Saturday is when the house gets clean. So Friday is better, unless you want to do Sunday for the one chip challenge, and then we can do a stream something. Might miss it then, working 2 shifts. I get home at 7. Oh, that's why you don't work 2 shifts, sucker. Sucker. No, I'm kidding. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest injustices. You can just watch it on your phone. Oof, K-Dash mean, but money. I ain't mean, I'm just a realist. I suppose the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. The hell it is? I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out too much hope for Soseki-san. That man is screwed. We gotta defend him. Also need money because I'm buying 12 figures. That's your fault. And then in about 2.5 months, you gotta... You and Exia gotta contribute to the present. For me. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. You need to buy 3 more display cases. You don't even have room for that. This is very informative. You know what? Just throw out your PS4. You don't need it. That'll make room. Throw out your Switch too. This has been very informative. It's only $50. On top of the fact that you got bills and you got 12 figures to pay for, you buy a lot of food. You still don't know what you want for your birthday. You have room for it? Bullshit, you used to complain about not having room. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Holmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Ah, well, I expect Shirley is still investigating the scene of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Natsume. Shirley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? I don't have enough. I don't have room because the shelves are packed. If I add shelves and more display cases, I'll have room. You say this. Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What's this? Oh, Natsume. Yep, I remember him. You watched all this already? A 5 shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. It reads, tell a gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Oh gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo is back to the scene of the crime. I finished both games, so yep. Oh, you did play it, okay. I want the Chuya figure to go with my Dazai. He releases November. That would require me to have to pre-order it. You better hope that doesn't sell out anytime soon. Because I can't pre-order it for a bit. Well, Mr. Naruhodo is back to the scene of the crime. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note, and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Silver, of course it's heavy. God damn it, never mind, I'll pre-order it. I mean, unless I can pre-order it without getting charged for it, where is it coming from? Like, what site? Chuya figures sell out for whatever goddamn reason. Yeah, just pre-order and I just send you money or something. I don't know. Fuck. Woo. Or just tell me where. Well, I saw GameStop selling it. Just link it to me and I'll see what happens. Because GameStop doesn't charge until... Yeah, GameStop doesn't charge until the order comes in. Or ships. Sorry. Well, no. Shipping's free if it's $35 or more. The figure's probably $35 at least. Oh, no. David won't. GameStop doesn't charge for it right away. I know Amazon has it too, but a little bit more expensive. I thought they do charge over online pre-orders. I don't think so. Because, like, they don't charge until literally it releases. Or like until they ship it. Pretty sure. If not, I'll just get it on Amazon. Cause Prime, baby. We'll get it faster that way. Looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation. Perfect, so let's find Inspector Gregson as soon as possible. Let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts. That's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Watson. What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship. Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Ugh. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Jesus Christ, this man is crazy. What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee. That's what it is. An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean... That's right, for the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time. Yes, yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. Of course, her using my name without my say so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. Okay, sent, gonna lurk. Yeah, I saw. Alright, thank you for the lurk. I'm sorry, Inspector, that must be difficult for you. Never you mind that! So what do you want to know, then, eh? So what do you want to know, then, eh? Sorry, tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ah, the little knife-wielding, mustached Japanese fellow? He lives in a right old hovel. It's just over there, look. The first floor of the house on the corner where that wreck of a bicycle is propped up. That's nearby indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord is Mr. John Garadeb. Right, well, if you see her again, make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship. Who the fuck is her parents, is what I would need to know. Who the fuck are her parents, I mean? Unless she told us what we wanted to know before he left. Yes, so then, shall we go and see what we can find in Natsume's lodgings? May I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garadeb? Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garrideb. Oh no. I don't like the sound of that. Did you see that, Mr. Sato? That was a real-life English maid. That was also some reactions. I know, as I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better. It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it? We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete! Well, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garrideb will see you now. This way. Who in the actual fuck? I feel like this is a take long. Let's talk to him though. Good day to you, John Garrideb, at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer. Do you excuse me not getting up? Took a shot to knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwand. Don't you know? No. Took a shot to the knee. Should have been an arrow. Oh well. Mischance. Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and down stairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. Do you think so? Well, Mr. Garrideb, no doubt you're very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folder roll, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Joan, fetch the... Oh, burning his ass. Dash it all, woman! Be careful. Oh, dearie me. I do beg your pardon, sir. You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands. I shall be more careful, sir. So he's an asshole and she hates him. Got it. So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right? Yes, we'd be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us. Only two, please, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blightly. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you are aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe? What is that over there? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. There's like something silver on that wrecked wooden floor right there with the whatever the fuck that looks like blinds or something, or a grid of some sort. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea. All that detective business. Yeah, see, right there. It's just like, it looks like a little silver thing on the right. Like covered by the text box right now. Oh, but you have a copy of Rant's magazine here, so... no, Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Soseki-san's room. It's a bally nuisance, is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. He has a cannon here too. Well, Mr. Natsume then. Mr. Garrideb, please do tell us. Oh yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time. One on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor became available a week ago. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see. There'd been... ARG! Dash it all, Joan! Do be careful. Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh, why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. We all need a person like this maid in our lives. The hell we do! I do not need a maid burning my hands and my lap with tea. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you asked me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything. We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Oh yeah, yes, oh yes, indeed there was. And she's dying to tell us. Look at that enormous screen. Must have been put there deliberately, sure. It certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder? I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek. Ahem, ahem. Maybe let's not, Mr. Sato. I think the maid's going to head us off with a cup of tea. Ahem, ahem. Had you noticed anything else at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh my word, yes, the man was shadier than an orchard. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is, more than anyone could ever read. I mean, the man probably reads all of it. And he never so much as passes a time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too. Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed around 9 each night, but I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Ah. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! She's stalking the hell out of him or following him of some sort. I understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct? That's right. They're both below us, on the first floor and street level. Then how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example, and even the times they go to bed. Arrgh! Good grief, Joan! Be more careful, woman! Oh my goodness, sir! I'm terribly sorry, sir. This maid is shady as shit. She's hiding something. Watching you, maid. Watching you. Something doesn't add up here. The incident 2 days ago. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window around that time? Yeah, we really need someone like Joan in our lives. Gotta get that wake-up call. Why do we need that wake-up call from her? I have an alarm for that. Actually, you go to bed when I wake up. Yeah. Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? 5 o'clock is dinner time in the Gardeeb household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, how about you, Joan? No, sir, it would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as? Anything at all? Even if it seems unrelated? Well... Yes? Was there something then? Well, something... Well, it's nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time in here, there... Arg! For the love of God, Joan! Watch what you're doing! Oh dear me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. Do be more careful, woman! Of course, sir. If I may, Miss Narrow Hollow. Oh, yes? I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. This bitch is hiding something. That man was about to... Gardeeb was about to tell us. Oh, really, Mr. Gardeeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of the... Arrgh! Joan, dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan? That's right, Mr. Gardeeb. What's the matter with these two? Sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident, but what? Wish I knew. Mr. Natsume's room. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly, just below us on the first floor. Mr. Holmes is investigating there, even as we speak. Yes, told me Nat's his name had asked him to look into that matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Holmes' services? That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also took a look around in Mr. Natsume's room, I mean? I don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Holmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. I need to pick a day where I have a lot more time to go through this. Let's talk to Sherlock Holmes and examine Mr. Natsume's room, and then let's see how long that takes, and then we'll end it there probably. He has a cat! And he has a cat statue thing. What? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. That, and because of the fact that there's no fucking window. It's bricked up. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life. No, me neither. So dark in here, too. Is that the window over there? Well, it was the window, I think, yes, once upon a time. For some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. This is where Mr. Natsume lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Holmes anywhere, have you? There's a bag over there. Well, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garrett told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Cat. Cat wandered that way. Oh my, what adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away. I don't know about that. He just disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan. That's made me feel homesick now. Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. Look at all these books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling. There's another book over there with something under it. Or is that a feather on it? I don't know. In the left corner. They're all works of English literature and they all smell so musty. With this volume of books so to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? No. What a dreamy idea. A bad dream for me at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again. So reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Could you even call this a window? I think so. It was a window at one time. After all, although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now. So really it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately break it up like that? I'm afraid I have no idea. Perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on it in a fit of whimsy. That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this could be extremely trying. Oh look, it's a beckoning cat from home. It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring the Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him. I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in your luggage? Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm. Well... hold the phone. Daruma doll. Is that what I think it is? Yes, it is. Daruma doll is... oh boy. For anyone in chat who doesn't know, that's what a Daruma doll is. In that link, you see a picture of it. It basically looks like a fucking red head thing with eyes and a face. And it was in somewhat a horror action movie, I think, or a battle royal style movie in Japan. What was the movie called? I'm gonna look for a Daruma doll horror movie. That's what it was. As the Gods Will, or as the Japanese name is, Kami-sama no Itori. Sorry. Kami-sama no Yutori. Shouldn't it be Jiyu? Whatever. But basically, it's a Daruma doll in a classroom, and he plays the game of kind of like Simon Says in a way, but instead of that, it's where he has his back turned, and then whenever he turns around, and people have to keep moving closer, and then whenever he turns around, and he's singing too, or humming some, or like saying some kind of something in kind of like poetry in a way. When he turns around, you have to stop moving. If you move, you lose. And in the case of as the God's will, if he turns around and sees you, like the moment he turns around and looks at you and you're moving, you die. You turn into blood beads. That's what happens, in like as the God's will. Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him. It's not doing a very good job so far, is it? You mustn't say such things. I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrawled all over them in English. It looks like the waste paper basket is so full they must have just fallen out. I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you? Are deeply averse to tidying up his mess. How have these books not completely fallen over? Some of them look like they're about to or have. And some of them was just like standing on things. I don't know. I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth. That desk seems to be wedged into a crevice between the mountains of books on the other side. I suppose Mr. Natsume would just sit there and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, I'm sure, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a receipt from a secondhand bookshop. Your books. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it, and the date of the purchase. 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident. That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Secondhand book receipt has been entered into the court records. There you are, you asshole. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Aha, there he is. Where did he appear from? He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. Sure, he won't mind if we disturb him. I hope he won't mind if we disturb him. You know, I don't like how there's a mountain of books. He's sitting on one, and he has a candle right there. Because if that candle gets knocked over by him, shit gonna go ablaze. Oof. Hello, Mr. Holmes. You two, good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Holmes, we were together on SS Burya. Yes, of course, the Burya. And let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Asogi. He died tragically. But you were a great help to us. Yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Oh, well, you seem to remember something of it, at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Sherlock Holmes. This is Mr. Oh, no, my dear madame, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato. Other way around, asshole. I'm sure this is fine. No, it isn't. You don't pull that dog meme right here on me right now, Scrimmage. Try the other way around, Mr. Holmes. I lose the first round. Oh, I hate this man. I'll be right back. Gonna get some more water. Alright, I'm back. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London, but some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short an amount of time? I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. A little? It is a mistake to think one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from the adventure entitled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Holmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dearest madam, I should be only too pleased, and this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Holmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What? I can't believe he was looking Susato squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you I am not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh, how? I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime, but that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question, so don't you think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you, but it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no. Oh dear. He accidentally accused the man without trying to, basically. Ah, tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garrett, a retired military man. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution, that is, the services. And it was the first time I ever met a maid from the Great British Institution, that is, service. Ha 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 ha! I didn't think it was that funny. I wonder if I wasn't counting the laughs properly. Ah ha 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 ha. I did, okay, on accident, sheer accident. As you may well be, at least I think I did. Whatever. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer. And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sorry? Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelon of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. goodness, how extraordinary. As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of first importance. I had no idea, and it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs, specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. Garadib. Oh? Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I am thoroughly lost on what he means to say. It means hiding something. Duh. The dingy room. And the man is fucking, like, he has yet to determine it. But something's up and something's fishy. This room is thoroughly suffocating for my soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man who's... This room is thoroughly suffocating for my soul, dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. What the fuck? That's like a shitty determination. Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one. Ah, but sooner or later, as I said. Listen here, you little... I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Holmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window. I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax? What is that? Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness! Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly closed windows up, while the rich opened windows here and there and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Indeed, the disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago, thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But his legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. Because the room is so awful, I should think. Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe that low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh? Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. Well, I believe I've told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in the various matters in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure. On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly, too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients, to trust in their innocence? Yes, trust. Mr. Holmes, Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply far too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing. Oh? What is it, Mr. Holmes? Tell us. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I'm quite certain that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Garib is? Mr. Garib is? Yeah, well, that was fucking obvious. Mr. Holmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Nakame's
Hostile
innocence.
forces detected. Arming raid defenses.
Curry, thanks for the raid. You've been curry raided. Curated? Okay. I'll give you that pun. What's up, Curry? How you been? It's been a minute. As always. What did you stream Trails of Cold Steel 4? Ooh. How's it going? Well, a lot of work, as always. And only recently where, I've gotten to, like, work, slow down the overtime a little bit, like in this last week and a half or so. I'm doing well. This week is not as hot as before. Yeah. Oh no, this week was pretty fucking hot actually until today. It was much cooler today. Wait, out of work? No. I'm still working. It's just that we finally alleviated me of having to work a lot of overtime because we hired another person. Yesterday was pretty cool. No, yesterday wasn't cool at all. Yesterday was fucking hot as shit still. No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probe a little deeper into Mr. Garib's secret. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. Really? You staying indoor too much. I go out every day because I work. And I've been going to clients and stuff. It's hot as hell, dude. You staying indoor too much? No, I'm not indoors enough. Great Ace Attorney is great. I'm on 4th case right now. I would have been here a lot sooner, but I've been streaming like only like a couple hours at a time because I have things to take care of and I'm tired a lot of the times still. Like, although I say overtime has been cutting back, I still have been working overtime at least an hour or two every day. So it's still a bit of overtime. Like, I've been cutting back on overtime slowly. Like, today I didn't have to work any overtime at all, fortunately, because we were completely caught up on support tickets and stuff. I have shorter stream for Cold Steel 4. Why? I don't know how I did 10 hours before. You should just fucking keep going. You used to do more than 10 hours. I remember you used to do, like, 14 to 15 hour streams on a constant regular basis and on average at the very least 12. Let's see, but I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only Saturday? I feel like that was every time I watched your streams. Like, I look fucking 12 hours. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Yeah, I've been tired recently. Have you been working a lot or something? Where'd the cat go? Excuse me, Mr. Holmes. Yes, so true. To be or not to be. That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. To be or not to be brushed off, that is the question, and the answer is all too clear. Let's leave Mr. Holmes in peace, shall we? I would not mind 24-hour stream, though. Yeah, they forced us to do
Hostile forces detected.
specific starting
Arming
hours.
raid defenses.
So I work 30 minutes later and get home later. Jamal, thanks for the raid. Damn, y'all raiding me as I was gonna end soon, but I'll play a little longer, I guess. Alright, this guy. Another raid, yo. End soon? Yeah, I do still have work tomorrow morning. How rude. Oh, shut it, Curry. Mario Kart 8. Ah. Slow ass nothing, bitch. My fucking thing appeared first. But, so, you're slow. I was freaking if it to prove a point, Jade. You want to fight me on this? No problem, Jamal. How was Mario Kart? Oh, the maid again. Ah, you pair again. Oh, please, Jade. I will prove a damn point. Let me show you. Such a liar? Nah, bitch. Okay. Let me pull it up. Where's my screenshot? Let's see if I can catch the cover screen on it. Here, you know what? I'm just gonna turn the camera. Let's go to full cam though. See? 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 I shouted out first. Get the hell out of here, Jade. Let's fix the camera. Gotta put my mod in her place. For being a lying sack of shit. Let's see Exia's screenshot. Exia linked his. Ah, see, Exia saw me first too. Oh, oh. Because Exia's a man of truth. He's a man of truth and honesty. Jade's is a lie. See, 2 versus 1. Thomas, post yours too. The screenshot don't lie. Nah. Let's see. Fix the camera a bit. Oops. There you go, that's better. uh, Only false one here is you, Jade. As an impartial third party, I saw K-Dash did shout out first. Mathy Math, thanks for that. The tiebreaker. Lamau! Nuggets don't lie. As a mod, I have the right to ban. Jade, if you ban Mathy Math, I swear to God, I will... I will ban you, Jade. Ooh. Anyways, I'm gonna start streaming too. Lurk. Alright, dude. Thanks for the lurk. Matthew tied was a tiebreaker. We win. Not have banned you first. You can't ban me, Jade, in my own channel. Woo! Or you're telling me you gonna ban me in your channel. You ban me in your channel, then, well, I guess you ban me in your channel, Jade. What an individual. Tell me it was the detective chap. I forget his name. Still hard at work down there. Yes. Reading a damn book. Mr. Sherlock Holmes. But yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't my thing, I'm afraid. Isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Holmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. This man's just gonna get burned again. Now then, why don't you... Tell me what... Arg! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're well doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Ah, yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind. Oh, yes, of course. Back to the nuggets. You enjoy your nuggets. Actually, are they spicy nuggets? We are deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourself. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Holmes, Mr. Garrett is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. Oh yes. Yes indeedy. Save real quick before we run into a situation where we can't. See yourself out. I'm not stopping you. Dumpster is that way. Listen, Curry. You calm down. I noticed you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garrett. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced the London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book. Oh, there's a copy of Rent's magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garrett enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, too. The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. Don't tell me to calm down. I will tell you to calm down. This man's trying to, like, get all hyped up and excited. Oh, look. What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand. Lined up, it looks more like someone has half demolished them to me. Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garrett's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. That sounds delightful. Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. Well, naturally, and it would never do to waste the leftovers. So whatever Mr. Garrett doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up. How magnanimous of you. What the fuck? Look at this crockery on display. It's rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? You calm your shit down. Go change your pants. I know you use what number 2. What the hell, Curry? No, not even close, man. You calm yourself. You calm yourself. And are you projecting? Did you take a shit just now? In your pants and everything? All over the floor, in your underwear, splatter, or your gaming chair, or whatever chair you sit on. All over your streaming equipment. God damn it, Curry. Why do you do this to yourself? Although the shelves seem to be broken and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice. What the hell happened to that freaking brick wall? On the outside is what I wonder. And then why is this all like messed the fuck up right here? I wonder. Oh wow, you are so nasty. I'm not the one that said things. You started this. I just took everything you said and just added a layer to it. Perhaps a cannon was fired at it. Yeah, probably something like that. But let's not delve too deeply here. Why has he got a gun in his pocket too? Ah, what's he doing over there? Mr. Holmes? Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. I didn't go that far. You nasty boy, Kappa. You did go somewhere with it. Curry, please. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Sherlock Holmes at your sir, at your service. Whatever you were doing over by the window. I'm given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner space by the window up here. Corner of space, sorry. Well, keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. And one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Wait, he's not talking about, is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. You mean, Mr. Holmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes even see the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo? I think so. There's just enough time for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Oh no. This is gonna take a while. We're gonna end it here. Let's see who to raid. Who you calling a faker, you faker? Let's actually raid Exia. Here's the sub-raid message. Here's the raid message. Please do, by all means, use these and give our boy Exia some love. Because you know he's the best mod here. Now, 1 second. Unfortunately, I must bid you all adieu. Goodbye and good night.